Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing very good today, and today we are down here in Miami. We're going to be flying up to Mexico, into Cancun here. We're checking out something called Total Mexico. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. We do have some weather in, let's see, weather in Miami is moderate VFR, and the weather at Cancun is moderate VFR as well. We have a little weather en route, closer to, yeah, we have some en route. It's very close to Cancun, so we'll experience some bit more precipitation on our way down into Cancun. But it doesn't look too bad in Cancun. Just that moderate VFR. Ceilings are, let's see here, ceilings 1,500 in Cancun. But yeah, overall not too bad. 27 Celsius out, so not awful. Miami's conditions, ceilings are 2,100, so we have a bit better ceilings here. Broken at 2,100, overcast at 3,000. So yeah, we're gonna get this going here. Jump up in the flight deck here, and we got some new avionics we're running the new ones. Some people like them, some people hate them. Kind of in between. They're nice to have, these avionics. They're good avionics, very fancy ones, and stuff. Yeah, so let's get this airplane fired up here. Let me get our flight plan on file here. So let me go here. Let me pre-file on Vatsim. Alright, file that off. Got ourselves a PDC. Squawk 7746. Alright, so let's go. Batteries on. Standby power's on. External power is available. Close the bus ties and the utility. There we go. That's on. Alright, we're good now. Hey, what's up there, Alamo? How are you doing today? We're going to put that to automatic. Run through our overhead panel. So, nav. On heading. Gauge those window heats. Set trim airs. Get the flight deck air conditioned. Or heated, whatever it requires today. That is set. Position light is on. Everything there looks good to go. Avionics are coming to life. Let's go to FMS here. Position in it. We'll let that take a second there. Let me get our squawk code. Our squawk code today is 7764. Let's put that into the transponder. 764. 7764, that is in the transponder. Whoops. Sorry, got used to P3D a bit. Okay, let's see here. Why is it not giving us the... Hey, oh yeah, give me a minute. That's, shoot. If I go next page... Why? It's not giving me the... Give me a minute. It's been a while since I've flown the 7.5. I don't remember how to do this. Let's see here. I want that on that. I'll go nav, and nav. That should start aligning it. Then heading. That should give me the time, I think. It should show those there. Let me go. Position. Let me type in Miami real quick. Here we are. And let me just align off Miami. We'll just do that for today. Should not gonna be that bad. So Cancun, and yeah, guys, remember to check out Total Mexico. It's made by the same person. It's made by Iceman, and he made the Piper Seneca for X-Plane. It's a pretty new aircraft. So yeah, we're gonna be departing runway 08 right via the, where is it? And then transition, route, activate, execute. There we are. Awesome. Then from Bravo 879 airway to what's that? Execute. Arrival runway 12. ILS runway. What? ILS runway 12. right? What is with these ones? 1, 2 left, right, and then you have 1, 2. What are those? I'm not familiar with that. Give me a minute, guys. ILS or localizer runway 1, 2. But what is these 1s and 2s? ILS runway 1, 2, right, 1 and 2. I'll just select R1. I don't know what the R1 is. Never seen that. Or localizer. Wait, give me a minute. Cancun approach. ILS runway 1, 2. Oh, okay. They have different approaches. Yeah, we're gonna want the runway 1, 2 right. That one. All right. Never mind. I was looking at the Miami's chart for runway 1, 2 on accent. That explains why I didn't see that. With the no transitions, execute legs. Let's put that in plan mode. Here we go. Alright, so on departure, fly that. Make sure this all connects up. There we are. That looks good. We'll put that in there. That. So now let's load the plane because I forgot to do that first. Now we're probably going to need to wait for that to load. 206 packs. We're not going to be able to take 206. I don't know why it keeps on giving me those numbers that are like impossible to take. So we'll take 150 with a cargo weight of 11530 and a fuel weight of 24,000. Let's optimize that like that. Alright, that's good. Load airplane. Okay. Now, everything here should be good inches. Put that into there. Train radar, everything. VOR. I want that one VOR here. I'm still trying to learn this thing here. So, that's brightness. Those are good. So if I select that, that puts it into like one thing. A minute, trying to learn this thing real quick. Actually, I've not done a flight with this yet. I know that does. That's weather radar. Then that selects, I guess, in between terrain and weather radar. Minimums, barrows. Right, let's set our altimeter real quick while we're here on the ground. Weather altimeter is 3011. That is set there, and we got 4 minutes until that's done aligning here. We just need to wait for that to finish. Right. Alright, let's have a look at our departure here. Here's the SID. Top altitude is 5,000. Alright, we're departing 8 right, so we're going to climb on heading 090 to intercept course 1462 Allen. Then on track 183. Alright, so we can do this all in VNav, it looks like. It'll do everything for us. Our nav and VNav. Let me have a look at our takeoff stuff here. This is takeoff minimums. Standard. Okay, so standard departure. Everything there looks good. I'll get the audio on. Cycle that. Right, everything there is good to go. I'm just waiting for that to align there. 5,000 is set. Initial heading is going to be runway heading 092. 092 on departure. That is set. And then once it loads here, I need to get our calculator for the takeoff stuff here. It should not take too long, hopefully. We'll see the seatbelt signs and stuff. Everything there is set. We'll open up the isolations, and that'll be set for the EPU then. We'll go fuel truck. We don't need it, and we don't need the loading units. Yeah, cloud layer's a little... It's not bad. Beautiful city. Alright, I think we're done loading. Let me check. Yes, we are. Plane loaded. Let me go to airport here. Toolbar. There we go. Loading up my airplane toolbox here to get my takeoff calculations. Go to that. There we are. Aircraft is a 757-200 load aircraft. Aircraft successfully loaded. Takeoff page. Select an airport. Miami. No MITAR found. It is completely fine. I got a MITAR here. Rather. There we are. Alright, so... Inches of mercury. Altimeter 3011. Winds in knots are 050 at 10. And knots takeoff weight. I need to pull up this. Gross weight is 197904. Pounds. Optimal flap setting optimal, yes. Saturated temperature is 23. Runway conditions are dry. Anti-icing off. Engine bleeds are on. Runway. No runway selected. How do I select a runway? Here we go. Departing 8 right. Save. And calculate. Yeah, current altitude. There we are. Okay. Got our takeoff speeds. So if we go to perf init here, let's get some of our stuff set here. That. Reserve. We have 1 on the reserve. I always do 1. Cost index is 12. Cruising altitude is 320. Takeoff page, select the temperature. Let's see. 55 Celsius. What? 140, 141, 145, and 146. That is set. FPS here in FPS here is not the greatest, but it's okay. Yeah, my FPS here sucks. I don't know why. Yeah, it's kind of low. Wish I was getting like 80 right now. I don't know why. Alright, we'll turn that on there, get the fuel situated, and start the EPU.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Alright guys, got a picture. Okay. Everything is ready to go. We are ready for push and start.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Everything is set. Turn off the bleeds. Get full pressure. Everything there is good to go. Just waiting for them to connect. Packs are off. Yep, everything there looks good.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Alright, let's release the parking brake and get this baby rolling.
Here comes the pushback. Light 'em up.
Guys, gonna grab the knee board. Need to go ahead and grab some new paper. Here we go. Got the strap. There we are. Alright, and we'll fire up the first engine, so we'll go ground. We might, if we can wait 20 minutes, my friend's gonna, we can do a parallel departure. He's in a 747 on P3D. I could always, give me a minute.
I need to, hello?
Hello,
Oh, hey, Gabe.
what runway are you departing?
Runway 9.
Runway 9. Those are parallels, aren't they, with runway 8? I think, right? Yeah, those will be parallels.
Yep.
Alright, well, I pushed back. I could probably delay it. Is there a place to hold? I don't want to be in the way. There's the penalty box I could go to.
You definitely... Are you taxiing to runway 9?
No, I was going to go to runway 8, right? But I was thinking, like, should I just pull it back into the gate?
If you want.
Oh, you're flying?
Yeah, I'm flying the 757 out to Cancun.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
I'm disconnecting the tow right now, so I could always pull it
And
back
we're
into the
disconnecting
gate.
the tow. Give me just a
Also,
moment.
I have a turnaround in Bogota, so if you want to come back to Miami, I'll meet you back here.
Oh, sounds good. And then, did you get your X-Plane installed last night?
Oh yeah. I just need to get the 7.3 installed.
Gotcha, and then we'll fly that later?
Yeah.
Do some Caribbean ops or something?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice.
Trying to get my weight. Estimated takeoff weight 311, 391.
Yeah, I could pull it back into the gate and wait. It's probably better than going to the penalty box, because then that's, I don't know how to get out of that thing. It's over.
Flaps config.
I probably need to push back out of there. Actually, I
I'm gonna
might
do a single pack departure.
I might just go to the penalty box and just wait there, because that's I could just swing the airplane out of the box and go up to 8 right, and then I'm like very close to the runway, so I won't need a taxi all the way. Because you're very close to runway 9, while I'm gonna be further away from 8 right. So I'll just go up to 8. I'll go up to the penalty box and hold. I'm gonna do a single engine taxi out.
Yeah.
Kevin, do you know how to cross bleed the engines on the 7.5?
What do you mean?
To be able to like start the engine like shut off the APU and start the other
he
engine.
wants to do a single engine taxi, I think. I do.
Is it as easy as just turning off the left engine bleed or the right engine bleed?
Both for a cross bleed start, both engine bleeds need to be open.
Yeah.
Open. So I need to turn them both on, and then without the APU, I can just switch it to ground.
Left pack off.
Left pack off. Gotcha. So left pack will go to the off position.
And you will have to
Gotcha.
throttle the engine up to 60 to 70% to start the other other engine.
Sounds good. I'm gonna do that. External power is off. APU is off. I'll turn off the cross bleeds. Though I assume I'm gonna actually let me turn on the isolation valves because that's gonna be needed. Okay. I'll go to the penalty box. That's close to 8, right?
Whew! 16.2 tons is my are my reserves. That's my reserve.
Man, this thing is hard to tack to with a single engine. Have a lot of power.
It doesn't grip the ground enough, in my opinion. I would not recommend doing single engines on that aircraft.
There we go.
Not doing a steps climb. Let's see.
What do they use the penalty box at Miami for? Is that only really used for... Well, yeah, never mind. You wouldn't need a de-ice at Miami. What would they use that for?
Well, they use it mainly for aircraft who are past their slot.
Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
Do you want to know what? Do you want to know what my fixed D rate is?
What is it?
Takeoff 2 at 50 degrees.
Man, I'm doing full toga out of here at 55 degrees.
And we'll do best climb available. So,
Hey, Kevin, you should join us doing some... You have the 737, correct? For,
Yeah.
Yeah, you should join us, too. We can fly 2 737s.
Where are you flying later?
I was thinking maybe down towards the U.S. Virgin Islands. We can go out of Puerto Rico, hop down maybe to some of the islands. St. John, St. Thomas, we might not be able to because I have scenery for there, but we can go into like St. Martin and stuff, and like, we can go into the other U.S. Virgin Islands, like
Okay.
St. Croix and stuff. Yeah. Man, yeah, I could feel what you mean about the. It doesn't like to taxi well on one engine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running the new.
It's because Flight Factor didn't make the tires grip the ground enough.
Mm-hmm. The new avionics, they aren't bad, but yeah, I do think I like the other ones more. But these are pretty cool to have.
Oh, that's the chime I wanted to hear.
What?
No, I did not want to do that.
Surprised many airlines did.
No, how do you stop the auto start?
I believe there's a button to turn off auto start. Look at the overhead panel.
No. I hit Control E by mistake.
Oh, yeah, there's no way to stop that.
Looks like you're starting your engines on accent. Yeah.
No,
Why don't you just get
disengage
rid of
that.
that control binding?
I will. I don't like that it's a default control binding.
Yep.
It's really fucking annoying. Control Shift, F1. And as for auto start, you can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's something I might need to unbind in P3D. I don't want to accidentally hit that button.
Because it's just holding rotation of the engine at 25.2% N2. Are you kidding me with this?
Fuck? Why does this say Lima on the fucking chart then?
Are you flying too, Kevin?
What happened? Yeah, I'm flying to SFO from LA.
Nice. What aircraft?
A321neo for United. Here,
No.
look. It's such a clean ass livery.
Alright, starting the APU.
I'll call you Sully. Can I see the cockpit of that airplane? I wonder how they look.
What happened?
Oh, okay, that's the Tolus. Never mind, I thought it was P3D.
Yeah, it's the Tolus.
That's a nice one. I love that plane.
Flight checklist. Flight docks tail number are checked. Fuel control switches cut off. Oxygen is checked. Flight instruments set. Altimeter is 3011 set. Cross check. Parking brake set. Fuel quantity 57.6 on board. 57.6 required. Pre-flight checklist complete. And before start checklist, passenger signs on. Doors closed. Demand pumps set. Beacon both. Recall checked. Trim 600. And
Man, I can't even turn it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to wait here. This thing is hard to turn with one engine.
yeah. Transponder is set, PCAS off. That's before start checklist complete. Probably gonna get a fucking hot start. 7660.
I'm just gonna put it here for a second. With the other engine, I think I'll be able to turn it around. I'll be right back.
You're good.
Be like a few seconds. Let me, be right back, guys. Hey. Hey, I'm back.
Hang on.
Where's your pushback?
Guys, connecting the bypass bin.
Ah, nice. That is the most like robotic voice. It reminds me of those
Welcome
YouTube
to GSX.
videos.
Yep.
Oh, I have it for Microsoft. But I think in Microsoft it might be a little better.
It's the same voices.
It
It
is.
is literally the same voices.
See, I've only
thank
used it a
you,
few
God.
times, like maybe 3 times I've used it in total, because I haven't really gotten back in Microsoft for a couple days. It's very
Well,
new
it's
to me.
neat that the only engines that started were, or the only engine that's attempting to start is engine 1, because Atlas does outboards than inboards. What kind of tug we got? Ooh, we got a Goldhofer!
Alright, now is your airplane probably gonna do backflips?
Probably.
So Alec, real quick, there's a new GSX version, so that'll probably fix the issues with the Max. So I'm gonna install it later, and I'll let you know.
Alright. We can only hope.
Yes, hopefully.
When did they release a new GSX version?
They just update it like constantly.
Even for P3D? Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, tail left? Brakes released.
That start at will, I don't think they usually say, right?
Well, they say something along those lines. The tug
Right.
driver will usually say, left and right are clear, clear to start both.
Alright, so I have my left pack off, because I'm starting my left engine, correct? Both bleeds on?
Yep.
Okay. Now if I go ground, and I need to increase the percentage of the engine, you said? There it is, 71. Introduce the fuel. GT.
Okay, we got ignition on...
I did something wrong.
Oh!
It's not starting.
Why is my N2 not... Oh, there we go. N2 is increasing on engine 1.
Hey, Kevin, can you show me how to do this? Here, I'll share my screen.
Well, make sure both packs are off.
Oh, okay, both packs are off.
You
Got
can't
it.
really start any engine if at least a pack is on.
There it goes. The Airbus is easy to cross bleed.
Well, because it does it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And... So far that's 2 good engines, starting 2 and 3.
Monitor traffic, American 1136 and Fisher stand 111 facing west.
Yeah.
Alright, flaps are set. Weather radar on. I need to figure out how to use this screen and set the weather radar. TCAS is on standby. Let me put that to that. I need
Did
to
you
figure
set
out-
your V-speeds?
Yep.
Using the dial?
It auto inserted them. Wait, and last hang on. For these displays, I need to set them manually.
Yep. You set them on
Oh,
EFIS.
Okay. I'm surprised with them being newer avionics. I feel like they should do them automatically.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Have a good engine
V1
start.
is 141. 141 set. Wait, how do I set the next one? It's only letting me set one? Oh, there it is. VR is 145. Thank you for telling me
You have to
about
click
this.
the set. You have to click the set button.
13.
And V2 is 146.
Alright, I have 4 good engines. I'm about to get ready to start my before taxi procedure once the guy shows me the pin and salute.
You mean that wave? See more waves instead of salute it? But
I mean, in the real world, they do it's a pin and a salute.
Yeah.
Everything is set now. That is all good to go. I have terrain radar on, weather and standby. Everything's good to
There's
go.
the tug.
Overhead panel, generator on, isolation valves off, packs are on.
We'll be in the air for 30 minutes. We're about to start our descent.
Here we are.
So I have my climb setting is actually going to increase thrust after departure.
Nice.
Alright, show me the pin. There's pin. And there's the wave. Flaps 10.
Flaps 5 is set. Auto brakes RTO.
And
Everything is set.
You flying the 200?
Yeah.
Well,
Does the 300 have different flap settings or no?
no, it's the same.
Except they use 15 as their standard.
Yeah. And their standard on the 757, on the 777, 300 is flaps 15, correct?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and their attraction is different. I think you skip a number on the
Taxi
300.
checklist. Any ASUS off, recalls checked, auto brakes, RTO, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear. Before taxi checklist complete.
San Francisco traffic, United 1745, leaving level T40, Sharper 4 arrival.
I'm gonna try and spin this baby out of here.
Actually, no, on the 777 they don't skip a flap setting, because if you skip from 15 to 1, you're gonna end up like the United did, just taking off from Honolulu.
Hang on.
At the
Miami
airport.
traffic, Giant 8575, taxi to runway 9 via Sierra, Miami.
Miami traffic, American 1888, taxi to 8 right via Juliet, Mike to 8 right, Miami. This is gonna be fun. We get some nice screenshots of you.
You might want to delay your takeoff, I'm not sure, because I'm going to cause some hefty wake turbulence.
I don't think X-Plane simulates it.
It doesn't, but, you know,
Yeah.
that's for the
But
realism.
which direction are you going? Right or left?
Huh?
On departure? Are you making a right turn on
I'm-
departure?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then we'll be fine, because I'm making a right. Yeah, we'll be good. I'll keep from crashing into us. And you crashing into me. Hopefully.
I took that turn way too fast. And since we don't have a cabin, I'll be skipping that part of the checklist. Before takeoff checklist.
Oh yeah, let
flaps,
me just
10
have
five,
my-
10 checked. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Oh, they're regretting to inform me that the chief flight attendant is dead. I just
love
don't
that
like dealing with
fucking
them.
Easter egg. It's so
I know,
fucking
it's so-
stupid.
I know. But hey, at least when you do, you don't need to deal with them. Because it's kind of annoying having them contact you every 5 seconds because you're choosing to skip stuff.
Specifically not do... Oh my
safety.
god, there's a 7-4 on final!
And why did you have to
There's
yell
a
that? Was there
747
something
on
special?
final.
Nice.
About
Is he
this?
company traffic? I swear
Yes.
he might be company traffic.
He's giant.
Oh, he's another Atlas?
I think so.
Yeah, baby, company traffic! Woohoo! Yeah, see? There he is on final.
Can't see it right now. From my perspective. Hey, lights are on, white lights are on, I'm ready for departure, I'm just gonna wait for you. So we can do this at the same time. So, no, alright. I'm gonna fly my departure, you fly your departure, just don't crash into each other.
Oh my.
What departure are you on?
I am on the...
The guy landing is Giant 8027. He's in a 747-8.
Is it in your VA?
Maybe.
I'm on the Mainer 1 departure, Arnav.
That's weird. They usually take the 1-2s over for the Caribbean departures. Or like Central America departures.
Yeah. But it gave me a 08 left, but I wasn't taking 08 left.
Right,
That was just a little absurd. I don't know
I'm
why I
only
never
taking
got
this
that.
runway due to a perf limitation.
And let me guess, the other reason is that it's right there and you don't feel like, you know, making a...
It
damn.
appears he is not in the virtual airline.
He's coming from Anchorage though. Dennis Szilard. Coming out of 1,000.
It appears he is not in the,
Oh, okay.
He's flying it pretty well,
Oh,
though.
no, he is!
Oh, he is?
Dennis, no,
Dennis
it's not
Szilard.
him.
Oh. Dude, that guy came from Anchorage. That's crazy.
That's
There
a
he
long
goes.
way.
He did that flight that you guys did the other day.
2 Atlas Airs right there.
He's actually in a Dash 8.
Yeah.
On my screen, yeah, he's in a Dash 8, but his livery is a complete white livery with the Atlas Air on it. It actually looks really good.
Oh, that was
Woo!
nice.
On my
Fucking
screen,
nice.
he has not touched down. He's still floating down the runway.
That's an X-plane bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
American
Good.
1553, taxiing to runway 08 left, minor traffic.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm waiting till he vacates, because you're not supposed to enter a runway until they vacate.
Hopefully, this American 1527 isn't going to be landing here soon. I don't know where
Come
he's
on,
going.
get off the damn runway. Oh?
I always see them at international airports lining up the other airplane while the R1's rolling
Miami
down the
Tower's
runway.
on.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they always do that.
Oh, I got a contact me message.
Yep, Miami Tower.
Oh, they gave me a clearance, though. Hey, look at that.
Give me a new squad
118.3.
code. No, he didn't.
118.3.
He did give me a initial altitude that I'm probably going to break anyway because he's not going to be able to control me once I'm airborne.
Alright. 183, let me check my, routing. Clock. Defense remarks, that everything is good. Alright.
Miami Tower, Giant 8575, ready for departure, runway 9.
8575, Mama departure, on up to Bowler, runway 9 aircraft takeoff.
Say again the RNO point?
Okay, 8575, on up to Bowler, runway 9 aircraft takeoff.
Go for takeoff runway 9er, RNO Bowler for Giant 8575.
And Miami Tower, good evening. American 1888, short of 8 right for departure.
American 1885, did you get my PDC?
Dude, what is it with
Yes sir, we
SFO
got your
Tower and
PDC.
other fucking aircraft, dude?
Just confirm, squawking 7746.
7746 for American 1888.
Runway 9 is ours. And...
Are you seeing it now for American 1888?
American
Stabilize.
1888, affirmative, runway 8 right, line up and wait. Traffic departs, runway 9er.
Alright, line up and rate, runway 8 right, traffic departing runway 9 or American 1888.
Stable. Toga.
I was hoping for that, you know.
Checked.
Tower, hello, American 1527, established 8 right.
V1.
American 1527, heavy Miami approach, continue, wind.
Gear up.
Sorry, I had it set up.
Beautiful departure.
Continue, right, traffic also position, wind 050 at 10. Continue, American 1527.
I got a beautiful picture of you on departure. I'll send it to you as I'm airborne.
Giant 575, notify the ATC available, frequency change, self-answer for you there.
Frequency change for you, have a good day, Giant 8575.
Burp.
Man center.
Let me download around 522, stocks at 112. 523, my departure, just continuing Quebec, hold sail away, right? Continue on Quebec, 22.
Acceleration height, here we go.
American 1888 on after Bola, runway right left takeoff, traffic on a 4 mile final.
Or not Bola, runway 8 right, clear takeoff, American 18. Brakes release, nose down. Trim is set, everything is good to go. We're on the roll.
That's 5, speed check.
American 1527, heavy traffic now rolling, runway right, clear line. Route clear to land, American 1527, heavy.
Speed check, flaps up.
Miami Tower, Shamrock 14 Golf, it's finals for runway 14, runway 08 right. Second call sign. That's Shamrock 14 Golf. Shamrock 14 Golf, Miami Tower, you're going to have to go around traffic, it's a 300 on a 2 mile final for the same runway. Alright, roger, going on.
Ooh, did you hear that Shamrock get sent around?
Yeah. This is a legal term, but to go RNAV, I have to.
TC big trailer, but it's MSFF.
Hey, over to advisory, American 1888. See ya! I just had to, man. So cringy sometimes to the see ya.
By the way, if you're flying an RNAV departure and they say RNAV a specific waypoint, you just follow the flight directories.
Yeah, but it was during my turn below 500 feet, though. Which goes against... You can't technically make that turn below 500 feet. You get possible pilot deviation in real life. But that was also kind of my fault because of my performances. I probably should have done a different... I didn't have enough... I got close to the end of the runway on departure, so I probably should have... Probably should have gone ahead and had more power. But
guess what my climb out speed is for below 10?
What?
260.
263.
Fuck yeah.
Here, I'm gonna send you guys the photo I got.
0.84.
Ay, ay, ay.
.744, she is a fast bird. And after takeoff checklist.
Thumbs up.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up and up. Flaps up. After takeoff checklist complete.
American 1527, taxi to parking via November. To parking via November, American 1527.
Here we go. Am I ready to hear my final climb out? 354.
Thank you. Miami Tower, hello, Vision 12 Lima, fully established China, same right.
354 fucking
Vision
nice.
12 Lima Alpha. Vision 12 Lima Alpha, Miami Tower, wind 050 at 10, runway right, clear line. Take it on in right for 12 Lima Alpha, thank you.
0 is set, and flight level change. Ah, shoot, I busted too.
Shamrock 14 Golf is
That's
downwind,
not something I like to see.
What is?
If you look at my screen, you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah?
You see that big tall cloud?
Yeah?
That's a thunderstorm.
But you're going the opposite direction.
Yeah, I know. It's still not something I like to see. Oh my god! I've embarrassed the company!
What?
no.
What did you do?
What happened?
I'm making a joke because me and Steve fly for the same VA. Steve is kind of my line training captain.
So what are we talking about?
I was just a stupid joke.
Oh, yes,
I need to give a good old once over to the limitations section of the FCOM after landing in Bogota.
Why?
High altitude takeoff performance.
The limitations are the same. It's just that you do have a limitation on. There's a supplementary procedure you were supposed to follow as well. Before you take off, you are to set the landing altitude to manual, select the landing altitude, and then select it back to automatic. For some reason, I don't exactly know why the procedure is done, but it's done at airports that are in between 8,000 and 10,000 feet.
So, landing altitude, I'm looking for that. I would assume it's here, but I can't find it.
So
10,000 feet land
yeah,
itself.
so you see right there the outflow valves.
Yeah,
that
it's right here.
there. Yeah, you press
Yeah.
that, and then the knob just below it, you can change it, and then it'll say on the icons there.
Wow, that was quick!
And then it'll say on the iCast to change the landing altitude. It's a procedure you have to follow. I mean, it doesn't really do anything.
Do I set it to Bogota's elevation, or?
Yeah, you would set it to Bogota's elevation, and you switch it back to automatic. It's really weird, but it's what the FCOM calls for, so that's a procedure you have to do. Gabriele is streaming on the YouTubes.
And, that's the entire takeoff procedure done. An Atlas Dash 8 landed before I took off.
Nice.
So, we had some company traffic flying it. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually fly for our VA. He was just flying with an Atlas call sign. My call sign is Giant 8575.
8575. I hate the Dash 8. I love it, but I hate it.
That's. By the way, I just hit fuck it. Spawned at the gate I parked at last time I was in Miami, and I'm flying 475 Mike Charlie again.
Cross Eddie at 6, ILS 28 left approach on the circle for SFO.
I'm doing a flight later tonight from Santiago to Sydney
Enjoy it.
in the 400.
Oh,
Carrying into,
are you able to type to me the cockpit configuration for the LCF?
yeah, I can get around to that whenever I'm not lazy enough.
Steve, you're lucky I'm not flying the LCF on any of these routes. Because my God.
Somebody's flying Delta 85 X-ray Papa, and he's flying from Philly to
I
Santiago.
like that
What a
the new avionics.
Say again?
They look nice.
Oh, the new ones?
Well, they're not entirely the new avionics.
Are you
They
flying the
do
Rolls
about-
Royces or the Pratts?
The Pratts.
What's up, Steve?
Sup, Kevin?
So there's one issue I have with the fact that you're flying Pratts.
Why?
You're flying American.
So?
They didn't have Pratts on their 75s.
You sure?
They're really not.
Yeah, they did not. They had Royces.
Yeah.
Most of them had Royces. If not all of them.
American American Airlines 75, Royces.
If you find one with Pratt's, please send me the tail number.
Royces, more Royces, more.
Another
All,
Royce.
yeah, all of them are Royces.
Wait, can I change that in flight?
No, don't do it. It will fuck
Yeah,
up
you
your
might
power
break your.
settings.
Yeah.
It will fuck up your power settings. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Just
Alright.
fly with the Pratts.
I didn't know.
For future
I didn't know they
reference-
did. Okay, switch it to
Yeah,
rolls.
for future reference, if you're flying American, set them to the Rolls-Royce engines.
Okay.
I actually know a guy who used to fly to 7.5 for American. Now he flies to 7.8.
And I don't know if United still has any of their 7.5s with Pratts. I think most of them are.
Are all Royces now, too.
Because the ones with Pratts, I think, were their pre-merger.
Yeah, up with Conta.
I don't know. I don't know how the Pratts are on the 7.5, but on the 7.6, I
Powerful
hear
as
that.
hell. Like
I
those Pratt and Whitney 4056s. They're not 4056. Pratt and Whitney 4000s, I think. But they're powerful as hell.
What do they use?
I know in the 7.6 they just suck.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're 4056s, Steve.
No, they're 4,000s on the 7.6. But what were you saying?
What they use the Pratt and Whitney's on the 7.6 though for American, right?
I think they had CF6s. I might be wrong though.
I'm
I don't know.
not too sure.
Yeah, those look like. So,
I
yeah,
know,
those are.
United has the CF6s.
Yeah, those are Gs.
It was the Pratt & Whitney 4000 series, but the 767 was powered by the 4060s.
4060s, okay.
So
Yeah.
we were in that range.
Yeah. My friend hates them. He hates the Pratts. Like with a
As
passion.
for oh, never mind. I was wrong. They're not Pratt & Whitney 4000s. They're Pratt & Whitney 2000s. And guess what? Guess where I'm reading this stuff.
Where at?
Pratt & Whitney's website.
Oh shit! I think I just found a Pratt & Whitney powered American.
Oh my God! What's the tail number?
321 Alpha Alpha. I'm looking at it. Looks like Pratt's. Nope, it's G's. Fuck. See, it looked like G's.
Oh.
Traffic, United 1745, 12 miles, turn final mile ILS.
321 Alpha Alpha 200, 223 ER, correct?
Hold on, let me get it again.
Because
Hold
those
on.
are, because that's 200 with Pratt & Whitney's.
Yeah, that looks like Pratt's, don't it? But then I look it up, 321 Alpha Alpha, and I look it up and it had G's.
Left 3. Left 3.
Because
Ooh,
everywhere's
yeah,
got
they-
G's. Maybe they got refitted.
Probably, because that picture, those definitely are not GEs. That's not what GE engines look like.
Wait,
Yeah,
hell.
I can tell.
The,
Because
is that?
the front of the cowling is too short.
And the tailpipe is too short as well. It's too stubby.
Yeah, dude, but
CF6s have that longer tailpipe.
Have you ever heard the JT9Ds on a fucking 200? Oh,
That's all I hear.
dude, the 762 JT9s, that's like my friend's only favorite Pratt engine, are
Well,
the
that's
JT9s.
because the JT9Ds are really, really powerful.
Yeah, they are really good engines.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the Pratt & Whitney 2000s on the 7.5 because, you know, even though they're Pratt & Whitneys and are typically underpowered, dude, it's the 7.5 and they're fucking rocket engines.
You can't beat the. You just can't beat
And
the Rolls Royces on the 7.5.
I like, and I have to agree with you there, but it has to be the C3s or 3Cs. It has to be the Cs.
Now, nothing is better than the GEs on a 7.4. Let's just be real here. Except for the 200s. Then the Pratts win.
Trip final ILS to 2.
Hang on, so
And the classics.
did U.S. Airways fly the 757? Because when I look up this aircraft, I see it in
Yes.
both, yeah, U.S. Airways and American liveries.
Yeah.
I thought U.S. Airways mainly gave them the Airbuses.
Dude, I have the US Air for the 737-400, the black one. Woo! That thing looks smoking hot.
So, US Air had
There's somebody
quite a
flying.
sizable fleet before they retired them. They had a. Let me go into it really quick because I want to read it off.
Yeah, they had a ton of Airbuses.
Windy.
If I just may interject here real quick, there's somebody flying a FedEx 748 from Bogota to Anchorage right now in Vatsim.
That
I'm
hurts
leaving.
my soul. Anyway, the final fleet of U.S. Airways was the A319,
Ooh,
the
it is fucking
A320, the A321, the A330, the A330-300, the A350-900. I didn't even know they had A350. Oh, they never had any
I'll
in
be right
service.
back. I'm putting my heat back on. I'll be right back.
Holy moly, you're getting thrown around there, Kevin.
They had
Yeah,
737-400s, 757-200s,
Hey, Alex, am I going sterile for a second?
767-200 ERs, and Embraer E190s.
Thank you, sir. You as well, American. It's very windy in the Bay Area today.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like how the 757 looks
Holy
without the
shit.
winglets, but
Holy
with the
fuck.
Rolls Royces.
Man, you're getting thrown around.
Yeah, I am. I know how women feel. Out of 100.
Let's see if you get on the 1,000-footer.
They won't.
Past that one.
Nope.
And past the other one. Is it gonna be this one? Nope, it ain't gonna be that one. Is it gonna be this one? Yes,
He
it
had
is.
already touched down.
Yeah, it's
couldn't
still a legal
tell.
landing though.
Yeah.
And reversing. Green. Holy fuck, why is it so windy? The winds are calm.
What are you using for your weather?
Active sky.
Okay, yeah. That's I'm running active sky right now.
-47. Okay. Did not expect that one, but Volantis giving me a -205.
Yeah, one thing I never do anymore is try to go for the softest landing possible.
Yeah, in real life, you're told to set it down.
Yeah, getting that soft landing is just a bonus.
Mm-hmm. And it can be like,
so cold in my room.
if you float it, then you have an issue. If you try and continue to set it down once floating it. Yeah, my brother used to be like always trying to get the smoothest landings in real life. Now he's like, I'm just gonna put it down where it belongs.
The issue is just like you can go for like everybody tries to make their landing smooth, right? Everybody does, right? You know, like everybody's lying if they say they don't, right?
Yeah.
The issue I see is when people think that keeping up the nose is making their landing smoother. It's actually not, because in reality, you're just bleeding off all that airspeed, and the airplane's just gonna sink into the ground. Like,
That's why you pump the yoke.
like no, not that. Please learn power management, people. And please learn how to flare properly, and you won't float halfway down the runway, and you will have smooth landings.
Yeah.
Because I see it all the time. It's like people just keep the nose up, and then they float halfway down the runway trying to chase that butter landing, and it's like, come on, dude.
Hey,
Right,
at
dude,
least,
you're, like,
at least
already on
none
the
of us
other
are Air Force
threshold.
Proud 95, where he triggered a stick shaker upon landing
yeah.
at DC.
Yeah.
He was flying a 737 like a Cessna.
Here's the thing with Air Force Proud. I feel like he was a bit more professional when he was in FSX. Now he's just like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, when Air Force Proud landed that
Well,
737, he landed that thing like a Cessna.
Well, think of who he caters to his audience, right?
Yeah.
It's mostly a lot of little kids.
Yeah.
right? Like, look, I like Air Force Prod. I think he's, like, his FSX shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck.
But, and I still like going back sometimes and watching his FSX stuff. But, like, you know, now obviously he's targeting, I mean, he generally did target, you know, a little bit lesser, you know,
Yeah.
a younger audience back then, but now he took it to like overtime, right? Where he's...
I don't think there's a single
Really
video
going.
he posts also that doesn't have a fucking sponsorship in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this video is sponsored by Turtle Beach.
Turtle Beach, yeah. My one friend actually got in one of his videos. He was controlling and he diverted due to having somebody's hand stuck in the toilet. And my friend was like, "Did you duct tape him?" I'm not sure if he saw that part.
What the fuck?
I'll send it to you all. Give me a minute. He said, my friend, he was controlling Charlotte approach and was like, "Did you duct tape him?" And he's like, "No, his hand stuck in the toilet." Here, I can grab it. It was funny. My friend didn't even know he was talking to Air Force Brown 95. He just said it out of, you know, thought it was gonna be funny.
Yeah, well,
But
most people... Oh, go ahead.
He's a bit of a pillar of the community, though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's one of those members of the community that, while he doesn't fly in the most professional way, I mean, he's just doing it for fun. The guy's a real pilot.
He is a real pilot? Oh, so he's a riddle rat. That's what, okay. Alright, I think I got the part. Give me a minute. I need to find the part where he says... Here he is, here he is. Alright, if you look in the general, here's the, it has a timestamp in it. If you just click it, you can hear my friend asking it. Pretty funny. Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time we were having a conversation about checklist in a stream, and as we're having a conversation about checklist, his plane just stalls and crashes like 12 miles from the runway.
Man.
It was funny.
Let's be careful. I am live right now. Let's be careful. We, you know, don't want anything going out there.
And I said in his chat, right? And I wish I clipped this, but I said, well, at least we didn't hit the VOR today.
Wait, what happened?
He knew what I meant, and he knew what I meant. So, does people know here Arch?
Yeah,
NDA?
I love Arch. LA controller.
I do too. So he was controlling LA, and and like 7.5 Spike took off, and then like he was messing around with camera views like all flight sim streamers do, it seems. Well, not me.
Yeah.
Mr. Einstein in the cockpit.
Yeah. And then he nosed over. I don't stay in the cockpit, but
You absolutely do during.
but most of
during
the time I do.
cockpit at least.
Yeah, during sterile cockpit, yeah, anything below 10, right? But, you know, then he, his plane nosed over and he crashed and he hit the LA VOR. So
Man, I
then,
felt like he was
about a
targeting
week
the LA
later-
VOR.
Right, so then about a week later, he was flying out of Vegas, and Arch was controlling Vegas.
No.
And Arch clears him for takeoff and says, "But don't hit my VOR again, please."
Fuck.
Don't hit my VOR.
I remember
That's hilarious.
one time
Oh,
when I was flying into Miami, and Steve had just told me about the guy, about how he cratered his landing on 2-7. And it just so happened that the guy I was flying in to Miami with the tower controller was the same guy. So I say, how is the runway condition after that one Atlas guy cratered it? And he responds, there's a noticeable divot, but you should be fine.
There's a noticeable divot. Dude, I actually have that landing, I think, clipped somewhere where I just absolutely screwed it up. Bounced so bad, had like insane pilot-induced oscillation, and just went right back up in the air again and on the go.
Oh,
And then I came back around, and he clears me for the ILS. And no, he clears me to go over the tower, and I say, let's hope we don't have to go around again. He's like, why'd you go around? Because of the winds? I'm like, no, we absolutely cratered 2-7.
Alex, remember we were flying the 747 200s and that one controller tried to clear you for the RNAV? Remember that?
Yeah, he's like,
I got that one straight.
I'm like, I can't do RNAV.
I can't do RNAV.
I have it clipped. I got it in my stream, and you're getting all pissed off. It's like, I've told the guy 5 bleeping times that I can't take a goddamn RNAV.
Yeah. I don't understand why he just
It was funny.
giving me vectors for the final approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're slant Lima, you can do the RNAV, right? If you have
And I
FMCs, you
noted
can do it.
in my flight plan
But-
that I was not slant Lima, I was slant Zulu.
Yeah, but if you're slant Zulu, you can't, right? You know.
Is it
Like,
what is the 757? Slant Zulu?
It's slant Zulu, but it is able RNAV approaches as it has full RNAV capability. The 742 does not.
Then it's
Unless
slant
you're using
Lima.
unless you're using the FMC, but that makes it slant Lima.
I actually think the 7.5 file's wrong on Vatsim. Like
It
it's a
probably
bug or
does.
something because it's slant Lima.
Yeah, because every time I file on Vatsim, it puts that slant Zulu.
Yeah, but continue what you're saying there, Alex.
Yeah. The slant Zulu comes from it not being GPS augmented, because slant Lima requires you to be GPS equipped.
Maybe.
But earlier 757s were not GPS equipped.
Yeah.
I know the 737 classic file's wrong. At least the IXEG does, because it is GPS equipped.
Yeah.
So slant Zulu. Correction. Slant Lima is.
RNAV no GNSS is slant Zulu.
I was looking at. Yeah, GNSS and transponder mode is Lima. RNAV no GNSS is slant Zulu. And then Whiskey is no GPS and then no RNAV. So technically, you'd be flying as Whiskey on if you were flying a 742 without the FMC.
No, because if you have the INS, it's slant Zulu. Not Whiskey. Because it is RNAV capable, just not for SIDS and stars or approaches.
No, the LTN's the LTN's only RNAV 2 capable. The INS is not RNAV capable.
Hmm.
So if you're using, well, they're both INS, but
Yeah.
the C4A is not RNAV.
Yeah, which that would make it slant Whiskey. The LTN would be slant Zulu, and the FMC
And
would
I
be
typically
slant
fly
Lima.
with the LTN, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna start putting in my remarks in caps unable RNAV SID, star, and approaches.
Yeah.
Because while I can put in every waypoint, that doesn't mean I can fly the fucking RNAV, because RNAV requires LNAV VNAV. And if I'm in a 747-200, guess what I don't have?
VNAV.
Or LNAV.
Well, no, you can fly RNAV approaches in vertical speed.
But
Yeah,
it's frowned
but-
upon, isn't it?
Not really.
No.
You can just do a, you know, a dive. You do like a step descent. I know a lot of them do that, or they'll figure out and they'll like.
Or you can
they'll just-
calculate what vertical speed will give you the flight path
Yeah,
that will require
and-
to glide.
Yeah, you can do like dive and drive. You can, you know,
Dive
calculate.
and drive!
Yep. Yep. That's what I hear it referred to. I couldn't think of the acronym. And you can also do, but yeah, like, basically, there's actually some, in a lot of cases where you have to fly an RNAV approach, kind of like, you know, you would do like a localizer approach. You know, you just have to fly it in glide path, or, you know, glide slope. Or not glide slope. You have to fly at a vertical speed. I'm too tired for this shit.
I've put in like the waypoints when I've done it in the past, but like either I end up being way too high or way too low at the end.
Oh, that's when you know, yeah, that's the issue with RNAVs. They're not going to be perfectly accurate.
That's
because
why
obviously
you.
it's a
That's why you can't
non-precision
auto land.
approach.
Yeah, that's why you can't.
Yeah.
Auto land on a RNAV approach.
But they are getting
there
closer
are-
over time.
Yeah.
They're getting
that
better.
said, RNP approaches are a little more accurate, but that's still not accurate enough for auto land.
It really depends on RMP approaches. So the issue with RMP is it really depends on where you are in the world and what satellites you're pinging off of. Because if you notice, your ANP changes all the time. So like you can require like a RMP of, you know, 0.10 to do an approach, but if you don't have that AMP, you can't do that approach.
Yep.
Alex, you're gonna go back to Miami, correct?
Yes.
I might take the Challenger back to Miami. Or something. I don't know yet. Might
Alright.
fly the Challenger over.
Yeah,
And-
Steve, I'm doing a turnaround in Bogota since it's such a short flight.
Yeah, it's only like 2.5 hours.
3 hours. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, in the winter it's 3, and in the summer it's about 2.5.
Due to the weather.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, the winds don't really change where that is there, but I don't know why it's shorter in the summer. Mostly flights are shorter in the
Flap
summer.
requirements the same for landing at
Because of the performance, you're gonna want to go flaps 30.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's, you know, at high altitude airports, flaps 30 is kind of standard. It actually says in the FCOM 25 standard, but then you can change that for performance limitations, and obviously, and you know, if 25 poses an operational threat, right, or something to do with you know, anything operational like 25, right? You're probably coming in at 210 knots over the ground compared to flaps 30 where you might be coming at 190. You know, obviously you want to go flaps 30.
Is it me, or is the Atlas, is the blue on the liveries a little too dark? Isn't it a brighter blue? On the
Not
real
really.
aircraft?
It's not really. It's pretty dark. I think my friend found the colors for it, and it's pretty dark. He found the RGB value.
Oh yes, RGB value is something I will never be able to find.
Have you ever crashed on Vatsim?
Yes.
I've never.
I've never, not even on stream, like.
Well, I take that back. I've had a couple I've had 2 shared cockpit crashes.
What aircraft?
One Well, one was the 7-3 because the airplane, there was a bug with the shared cockpit where if you switched controls without like disconnecting, like the flight controls for the new person flying would be fucked up, right? And then the other one was in Denver where we had icing, and in the 7-5.
Oh, was this the 7-5 where Rich looked up and said, "Why are we descending?"
Yeah, why are we descending? I look up, I'm like, holy shit! Right, and then, you know, he takes the autopilot off, pulls back, nothing happens. I take controls, I pull back, nothing happens. I take off the auto throttle, firewall the engines, because I know this thing's got really powerful Rolls-Royce engines that are underslung. This thing will climb. You know, and at that point,
underslung engines. Nose up.
Yeah. Yeah, and at that point I'm thinking, oh shit, like we have like a United 232 deal going on, right? Luckily we have had ailerons. So, you know, then we start troubleshooting this issue when I'm trying to fly the airplane around, and you know, he looks down, sees the trims all the way back. I look down, see the trims all the way back, but the airplane still wants to descend.
Sounds like that,
what is?
yeah, the, like, what is it? With the, corkscrew or something.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that.
And we're like, yeah, and we're like, what the hell? And mind you, how close we got to crashing, I remember looking on the RA as I'm taking out the auto throttle, and it was 400 feet. So,
That's some bad,
nighttime
situational awareness. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that. We were looking at our charts to see the next restriction, and it just started to set. It wanted 1,500 feet a minute down at idle thrust with the yoke all the way back. We wanted, right? We wanted it, and also it was nighttime, right? With just barely overspeeding the flaps, it wanted 700 down with the yoke all the way back with some power in. So I'm flying it around. We come in for the closest runway, which at that point was 3.5 left. I'm getting my compass rose mixed up. So, you know, we come in and we're deciding which flap setting to use, and you know, we initially go flaps 15. Didn't really like how it flew, so then we went flaps 5. You know, descended, you know, visually towards the runway. I pull the power back over to, you know, basically the, you know, muscle memory to pull the power back when you're in a, you know, to go into a flare, and well, that increased the descent rate to, I think, probably about 1,300 feet per minute. It was crazy. Well, anyway, we plunked it on the ground, popped all the main tires, collapsed the nose gear, skidded across all 12,000 foot long of 3.5 left, and came to the stop at the end.
Hey, at least you flew it. Like, at least you had control over the airplane.
There was one incident I had when I was flying the 727 into LA, and I was on final approach, just dropped the landing gear, and my nose gear didn't come down.
I had one.
Without a nose gear.
Mine wasn't
was on
bad. Ours was on the one I had. We didn't. This is the closest. I would say this is the closest we got to a crash, but we were nowhere close to a crash. I was flying the Challenger with my friend. We're flying into New Orleans, and we are coming on down. We have this coolest controller ever. He sounds like Yoda. Don't know I had to put that out there. But we were having a great time coming down. We're setting up for the ILS approach. Me and James are sitting there on our phones and stuff talking. We're like, yeah, this is going to be a nice landing. And then out of nowhere, we had a bird strike. And it didn't know this could happen, but the Hot Start Challenger can get into the pitot tube. So we lost airspeed indication. So we ended up going around declaring an emergency and everything. So yeah, that's our closest we've gotten to crashing, but you know, without crashing. But yeah, that one was interesting.
I wish the bird system in X-plane worked properly, because it would be really cool if from your weather injector, because it also gets ATIS information, that if it said birds in vicinity, that it would put birds in the vicinity of the airport.
and then
you'd
like
have
you
to
have
worry about taking off. Like, say
and
you
then
saw
you
the
have a
birds
chance
flying
to
over
hit
the
'em,
runway, you'd have to tell ATC, hey, I can't take off. There are birds flying over the runway.
I mean, yeah, and then there'd be like a slight chance you hit them. But flying alone, I've never crashed. Like, I take my flying very seriously. Like, I have pissed off quite a couple, well, most notably Miami approach I've pissed off because I told him I simply couldn't take a runway that he wanted me to use because of aircraft limitations.
They'll get pissed off over anything, the Miami controllers. I find it very easy to piss them off.
I've never had an issue with Miami until that day, and I straight up, you know, told him after I landed, I'm like, dude, we can't take this runway because of, you know, because of it's not certified for our aircraft, and that was plainly it. And in the air, I got a supervisor involved. Of course, nothing happened because, you know, supervisors and controllers are like butt buddies, but, you know, like, you know, and supervisors take like the longest to actually do anything. There was one time a kid was trolling on Vatsim, like on Unicom, you know, and he was trolling other people, and I just simply got a supervisor involved. It took 30 minutes to get him disconnected when he saw what the kid was doing.
In Miami, we were on
I do have to give credit to some supervisors though. There are some that work real quick. They're like, okay, done. Guy's gone.
Oh yeah.
Into Miami, we were I was on final, and there was this, I don't know what he was doing. He was flying a fighter jet. He was on contact with the tower. He was intercepting people, buzzing the runway, buzzing the tower. Guy dot walloped, the controller dot walloped, and the guy like I landed. The person was still flying around intercepting people. Keep in mind, like, this is like 20 minutes later. Still flying around intercepting people. I later hopped online a few minutes, like I changed aircraft, reconnected, and this is like, it was at least like 50 minutes later, and he was still doing the same thing. Nobody showed up.
Yeah. I'll tell you one good Miami controller. And also, here's another thing that pisses me off about this one specific controller in Miami. He always mans Miami approach, and, you know, obviously I'm normally flying the 7-4, you know, normally flying freight on these long flights. I need a high-speed climb. Okay. I know sure as hell in Miami you have to request a high-speed climb, right? So I get up in the air and I request a high-speed climb as early as I can, and he's like, I can't really approve that, but I'm not gonna get mad at you for doing that. What do you mean you can't approve it? I've never had a controller ever in any station in any RTEC in any part of the world. I have never had a controller say I can't approve a high-speed climb. You know, technically, I can't approve a high-speed climb. I've had to not approve it due to traffic and stuff like that, but there was nobody around, and he's like, I'm not really allowed to do that, but I'm not going to get mad if you do. Like, what? There's this one guy who controls Miami Tower, really good controller. Me and him are, you know, pretty okay friends, and he, I remember one time he was controlling me, and I get told to lamp away, and you know, at that point, then after that, I'm cleared for takeoff, and then I hear over the radio this Avianca coming in on 9. Okay, so then I hear the tower tell him slow to your final approach speed, right, 3 times, and then he tells the Avianca to go around. So I know he's on 9, and I reject the takeoff, right? and he actually commended me on that. He's like, thank you, right? Because I would have told you to reject a couple seconds later, but you already, you know, had great situational awareness. So anyway, you know, then he comes around, then I go around, I get stuck behind the 7-3. The 7-3, I don't know if he was I don't know if he had the world's longest checklist, or he was just starting, or he was starting an engine, or doing his flight control check on the runway, like I see so many people do, right? But he took forever to get off the runway.
I don't understand why people have to do a flight control check on a runway. That is not a place you should be checking stuff. Everything should be checked before you line up.
Oh yeah.
It's unsafe too.
I know that in the real world, some airlines will do their aileron check during the taxi. They'll check the rudder in the elevator.
Yeah, but
they'll check the
never on the
rudder.
runway.
They'll check the rudder before the taxi, but during the taxi, they'll check the elevators and ailerons.
But you can also check the rudder during the taxi by disconnecting the nose wheel steering from it, so that you're steering with the tiller. At least in the Airbus, you can.
Yeah,
Make
in
use
the
the rudder.
Boeing,
It's not easy to do that in the Boeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the Boeing.
But anyway, you know, he then gets off the runway, and I get told, you know, I get told to line up and wait after he gets cleared to take off, whatever, right? He gets off the runway, then he goes Nordo, and I'm just sitting there on this runway, just kind of just like, what the hell am I doing? I'll probably sit on there for 5 minutes before I actually got cleared for takeoff. But anyway, you know, that was the end of the story. Nothing really climaxed from that, but the beginning of the story, I later was talking to the controller. Guess how fast the Avianca A320 was going on final?
How fast?
290 knots.
Oh,
Why?
possible pilot deviation right there. Give him a number.
290 on final.
I know that there used to be an airline in France that flew 250 until final approach.
Oh, dude, in Australia in the Fokker.
Hey there, Glenn. How are you doing? Yep, we're... I don't see anything out below. Hope you're doing good, man.
Do you want to know what airline I'm referring to?
What airline?
The airline was Air and Terra, and they primarily flew A320s, and they would fly 250 until final approach.
Jeez. Yeah, I just can't believe it. 300 knots to final, like to 4 miles they used to do in Australia before the 250 rule. It was like, dude, and the Fokker could do it. That thing could do.
I'm doing good at yeah, we're heading into Cancun, Mexico. Might get some tacos while we're there, you don't know. Yeah. It's a very nice flight so far. Yeah.
For you know, turning on the final when he told me to follow the arrival, which brought me on to a final. Don't tell me to follow an arrival without telling, you know, and then, you know, get mad at me when that arrival takes me onto a final. I've had Anchorage get mad at me for clarifying which.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Third taxiway, and I said, hey, you know, and I read it back. I read it back fine, and then I just clarified where did you want us to enter? And then he took that, you know, as me being, you know, not knowing what I'm doing, and he proceeds to try to baby me around the airport. And then I promptly told him, sir, I've been here hundreds of times. I know where to go. Please just tell me the taxiway you want me to enter. And then he finally told me. I'm like, thank you. Oh, and then I was doing a turnaround, and then he, you know, then proceeded to put me on a heading at an altitude that was, you know, way too low for the MSA. I guess hoping I was going to hit a mountain and wouldn't allow me to step climb higher. You know.
Well, if you have to do a C-fit maneuver to keep from flying into terrain, what's he going to do then? Yell at you for, you know, trying to keep
exactly.
your airplane from flying into terrain? I had a controller do that to
So-
me on the ILS, and he put me below it. This was in Shandong, and we had some big, they're not tall mountains, but he kept me so low that I got terrain alerts. And I was like, hey, why do you have me at this altitude? He's like, oh, you'll be fine. You're gonna have about 100 feet underneath that you have clearance. I was like, that just doesn't sound safe. 100 feet is like, if I deviate just 100 feet, I'm into the terrain already.
Yeah, and I promptly, you know,
If
told him,
I
like,
get a
"Come on, dude."
controller like that, I'm probably gonna tell him, I hope you're not a controller in real life.
Yeah, I promptly told him, like, you know, come on, dude, like, you gotta do better than this, basically. And then I had one controller in Nagoya.
I know controllers in the real world can be devious, but they will never do something that is actually unsafe. Like, there was that one incident that happened in, I think it was Hawaii, where a pilot was in and out of the clouds and was constantly requesting vectors, and the controller started giving him attitude and said, oh, sorry, that's an incorrect altitude. You're gonna have to climb back up to that altitude. It was just...
Yeah.
Because in the controller's defense, the pilot was giving him attitude first.
Yeah.
But it should not have been like that in the first place. The pilot shouldn't have been like that, and the controller definitely shouldn't have been like that.
Yeah, I had a controller, he, in Nagoya one time, and he gave me my clearance. I asked him for his, you know, clearance, and he gave me it, and he, you know, and all I remember reading back, because all I could understand, because this guy's English was horrible, was where I was cleared to, the departure, and, like, barely the squawk, right? And, you know, and he gave me a lot more information that I needed to clarify on. So I read back those information, you know, as best as I could, and I said, can you clarify the other stuff? You know, and he, I shit you not, turned around and said, do whatever you want. I'm like, okay.
That's why I don't fly in Europe. I have issues with understanding the controllers, and every time I asked if they can clarify or put it in the chat because I couldn't understand what they were saying, I feel like they always just get a little annoyed.
I've never had issues with any European controllers.
I have issues with British controllers. I think British controllers are...
Yeah, they could be a little...
I've had a few issues with them. The German and French controllers are the nicest fucking guys, though, actually.
No,
I love
the nicest controllers I've ever met were the fucking, I might be a little bit biased on this, but from Ukraine. Ukrainian controllers?
That is 100% a bias, Steve. I know you're biased.
Dude, like, their English is so good, and then obviously the Russian or Ukrainian is obviously really good as well. But then, and then they're like the nicest people. You can have a fucking conversation on the frequency with them.
Oh, but you do that here in the US, you're gonna get yelled at.
Actually, no, you won't. I've had conversations with controllers all the time. Though, that said, most of the controllers that I've actually had conversations with on the frequency are real controllers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. South America, I've never had really any, you know, any issues. I had issues with one time in Venezuela.
All the time in South America.
Well, I don't speak Spanish, so. But
I also hate it when people speak their mother tongue on the frequency.
It can be a little bit annoying, but I don't really care too much. You know, but this Venezuela controller, right, kept trying to speak to me in Spanish, dude. Right, and I only noticed when I heard giant and then 7-1 in Spanish, right? And I'm like, dude, like I don't speak Spanish, right? And then I kept asking for, you know, for deviations due to weather and stuff like that, and he just wasn't getting back to me, so I just stopped walloped him. One time in Argentina, I had this controller who I could understand, but he couldn't really understand me, but everything kind of worked out after a little bit. Europe, I've never had an issue with. Never flown in Africa. Australia, Sydney, Tower.
Does ASUS even have a route that goes to Africa?
They've gone to Africa, just not very. They don't have any scheduled tours per se.
Is there a way I can move my crew base for Atlas Air?
Yeah, you have to ask
Jacob?
Jacob. Yeah.
What is my crew base?
I one time had Sydney Tower, like, he was giving me vectors for a visual, and he's report the airport in sight. We couldn't see the airfield, so I say, we don't have the airfield. Can we just get the ILS? He says unable due to independent visuals. 2 seconds later, he turns around and says, "Oh, expect the ILS."
What? Huh?
Like, excuse me? Like,
Man, the controller in real life at Melbourne, Florida, they have this old, he's like, I don't know how old, he's gotta be in his like 50s or something. He's like the grumpiest guy ever. He makes some jokes that are probably should not be getting said over the frequency. And he's like, man, he's like one of the worst controllers down in Florida apparently. Yeah. The guy at Melbourne, Florida, my brother's had to deal with him. He's been rude to my brother. Because my brother was, the guy put him in a hold at Melbourne, and there was there was traffic coming right at him, and my brother had to climb, and then the controller got mad at him for climbing. He's like, I ain't gonna find a plane today. Like, that there, like, that...
There was one time I was flying into Seattle, and, it was during a busy event, and he was having me, I think it was at 6,000, and he was vectoring me out for a long final to 16 right, and he goes, turn left, 120, I'm like, and I immediately responded to the controller, are you sure you want us on 120? Because if we go that heading, we're going to end up on Mount Rainier. He goes, oh crap, sorry about that, turn right, and then he gave me the west heading, because I understand why he gave me that incorrect heading. There were like 200 people flying into the airport.
yeah, like,
It was busy as hell. And I immediately said, we'll turn to this heading. You know, I understand you're busy. I'm not gonna get on you about it.
Yeah, and
If a controller makes an honest mistake, I'm not gonna be mad.
Yeah, I've had a controller apologize profusely for a mistake that he made to me. I'm like, there's nothing, like, no harm done. I don't care. Like, it was a simple mistake, like, you know, it happens. I had one time, like, Miami. I like when controllers make mistakes, but then they don't get mad when a pilot, like, clarifies, you know, or corrects them. Like, in Miami, right, you know, I was flying to Dash 8, and I landed on 9, and I exited, and he told me to take Tango. Well, I can't take Tango.
Yep.
So
taxi restrictions for the Dash 8.
Yeah, so I told him, like, okay, you know, our paperwork says we can't take Tango. Can we take Sierra? And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, I forgot about that, and you can take, you know, you can take the.
Why can't you taxi it
Sierra
on
down.
certain runways, on certain taxiways? Because it's a small airplane. Dash 8.
No.
Excuse me. 7-4. I was gonna say, yeah, the Q400 is a little small.
Well, I find it interesting because no one calls a Q400 a Dash 8. They just call it the Q400.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you hear someone referring to the Dash 8, it's in reference to the 747.
Yeah, and any conversation you have with me, I just call it the 748 a Dash 8.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you know, and everything was clear, and I actually rated him because I didn't realize that he was streaming until I went on Twitch, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, he's actually streaming, so I rated him, and we had a conversation, and it was actually really funny because about 15 minutes earlier, there was a controller, there was a pilot who said, hey, I don't have this departure or something, you know, in my FMC, right? And the controller turns around and says, well, then put it in.
I was there for that flight. We were coming from Bogota. I remember that.
By the way, someone actually said, did the whole ground and plane thing. I actually heard that on the frequency.
Ground. I love that. But yeah, you know, I thought it was going to be a state your ARAC, because I know a lot of controllers will do that. You know, when someone's like, oh, I don't have this procedure, and they're like, state the ARAC. He just gave. And
I actually
asked
got
him
yelled
about
at
it
by
earlier.
a San Diego controller when I was trying to fly a DC-8 out of San Diego. The controller, I told him that I didn't have a specific departure, and he's like, well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to get updated nav data. I'm like,
It is updated.
well, no, it wasn't. It was out-of-date nav data, but I didn't have a way to get up-to-date nav data at the time.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me, and the controller's like, oh, you can just listen on the frequency and maybe you'll find a solution while listening on the frequency. I was like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Even certain, like, companies don't allow certain procedures, right? Like, certain companies just don't have certain procedures. Like, Atlas does not have any approaches to 3.3 and Anchorage. It's not in their ops standards, right? They can
Anchorage
do,
rarely
like,
uses that runway to begin with.
yeah, right? They are technically able to do them. They just don't have that procedure in the FMC. And I did it one time on the network, and just because I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do 3.3 in Anchorage. And the guy was running 3.3s. The winds were 4 knots, and he was running 3.3s, dude. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. But obviously, that was like not very realistic, because at the end of the day, you cannot do 3.3 if it's not in your FMC, right? But yeah, I think now, anymore now, like, people shouldn't have that come up. You know, I think everybody flying on the network nowadays has, you know, if you have time to flight sim, you have probably $10 a month. Like, you probably have $10 a month for charts and nav data.
Well,
and
I mean,
dude, and even
unless you're a 15-year-old me who didn't have a job.
I mean, obviously, and then like, you know, even then, like, you know, $5, right? You know, can get you just the nav data, and then charts are free, right? You know, and it's like, you know, anymore now, if there are 14-year-olds rolling around with the fucking 4-flight subscription.
Yeah, like
right?
Like Ashton, yeah.
That bothers me a lot.
Oh, see, I'm not as fortunate as Ashton.
Yeah, we're not.
That said, my dad does pay my Navigraph subscription because, I mean, he's had it the whole time. Why cancel it if I constantly fucking use it, right?
Yeah, I didn't have that, right?
For instance,
I wasn't that fortunate, but like, you know, I didn't start really getting into flight sim until I was maybe 16, and like at that time, maybe when I was 17 or something, I got, you know, Navigraph, and it was like only $10 a month, and I was like, actually at that time it was $8 a month, and I'm like, this is cool, like I'll keep this. Updated nav data and, you know, updated, you know, and updated charts. Hell yeah, dude.
Alex, did you ever figure out how to connect that Flight Plan Go? Did you get it working on your P3D?
You need to download a file from Flight Plan Go.
Oh, yeah.
What's Flight Plan Go?
Think 4-flight, but free.
Oh.
It's all the same shit that 4-flight offers, but free.
Nice.
That said, the free version allows you for entirely domestic in Canada, but if you pay the subscription, it allows you international. I think maybe over into Europe.
Yeah, because like U.S. and Canadian charts are free.
The one thing I hate is how it automatically puts a route in, though, every time. I have to delete it, but, you know.
I hate FAA charts.
Yeah, it does use FAA charts, but honestly, I want to learn how to read them, mainly because I'm probably going to use this app until I become financially stable enough to afford ForeFlight.
Well, ForeFlight, you do know what ForeFlight, you do get the FAA charts. You have to pay to get the Jeppesen charts, and they're pretty expensive to get.
Yeah.
And it's because they provide more information than the FAA charts do.
The JEP charts are, you know, in my opinion, a whole variety better.
I mean, I agree. That's why I use Navigraph charts whenever I do flight simulation, because the charts provide more useful information to a pilot.
And you know what? Like, and you know what too, right? A lot of people don't even like read, like, don't even like in the flight sim community, obviously, don't even know how to read, you know, fully their JEP charts. Like, do you know, like, if maybe you guys didn't know or not know, but do you know, like, that if you're looking at a departure or an arrival, and the waypoint is like in bold letters, that means it's a transition and stuff like that. Like, not many people know that. You know,
For instance, if looking at the Guava departure, the fact that Guava is typed in larger letters tells me that that Guava is the transition on the Guava 2 departure.
Yeah, which I think it should be URSUS on the departure.
Well, it is URSUS.
Yeah.
But Guava and URSUS are both emboldened.
They're both transitions, yeah. Because there's probably some routes that you can transition off of Guava.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't notice the fact that they were emboldened until you pointed it out just now. I never noticed
Really?
that. Yeah, I never noticed that.
Yeah. You know, just stuff like that, right? You know, it's really good. I don't know how.
Not to mention, and my favorite little thing that 7.4 that Kelsey actually pointed out to me in one of his videos was the little arrow pointing at terrain that tells you the highest terrain point on the chart.
Yep.
Wait, you didn't know that?
Yep.
I did know that. I've known that for several years.
Alright.
But it was several years ago where I was watching a video and saw him point that arrow out, and I finally knew what it meant.
We like Kelsey.
I was watching him in school, and somebody said, "Oh, what's wrong with him? Because his head looks weird." It's like...
I had to deviate 10 degrees to avoid a cumulonimbus.
Let's see.
My buddy who works at Atlas, he was like telling me all this shit about Atlas. It's such a good company to work for. You know, they have like the most lenient uniform policy on the planet, dude. Like, they don't care. Like, all they care about is if you look professional. They don't care if you have beards or long hair or, you know, anything like that. Yeah, you can have like you can have like the biggest beard that you want, right? As long as it looks good, you can fly for Atlas. Like, and other stuff like they're so lenient. It's so fun. They're such a lenient company, dude.
Honestly, I'm probably gonna keep my beard at maybe a stubble.
Yeah.
There are some airlines out there who are
on.
like, no, you're not allowed to have it longer than this, because if you do, it will totally, absolutely block your ability to use your oxygen mask. Even though it doesn't, it has been proven to not do that.
What's going on?
I was talking about the oxygen mask.
No.
Oh.
My nav has failed or something. It's not giving me direct. It says invalid entry.
Try typing it.
Put no set into the route discontinuity.
Wait, what?
Put no set into the discount.
Like that?
No. Just grab it. No, yeah.
No, but my
grab
next
it from
waypoint
there.
is this. My next waypoint is this. I put it in, it says FMS message, invalid entry.
Delete no sat.
Yeah, delete the waypoints.
Now go
And
direct.
then-
Invalid entry.
Go.
Wait, go to the DIR.
You go
intercept
direct
page.
intercept. It's direct intercept. There's a page on the FMC. It's below intercept.
Direct intercept.
There you go.
Execute.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, pull the boards out real quick. Raffle boards.
Are you on descent?
Yeah, now I'm pretty high. Because of that air, I didn't see it.
Alright, I am now turning back on course. And Steve, I'm going to share my screen just so you can see how beautiful this is.
Hell yeah, dude.
Look at that.
Hell yeah. B30 looks so good. We love
I know.
B30.
Yes, we do.
How long until you arrive?
There's a screenshot. Putting that in the Atlas server. There's some more CBs off in that. Off
Probably
the
got about
distance
2
over there.
hours till he arrives.
What's current time? 1857. Estimated time of arrival 2045.
Huh.
Why did that cumulonimbus didn't show up on your weather radar, some of them?
Because they're behind me, and those ones over there are too far out.
Mm.
And keep in mind, the only thing that shows up on the weather radar is precipitation. It's only showing you rain, not the clouds.
Yeah.
Which I'm about to fly through
Which,
a
by
red
the way,
precipitation.
the fact that you're
area.
about to fly through a red segment kinda
Yeah,
scares
I don't
me.
know if that's accurate, because I don't know, like, sometimes this thing, I feel like it... No, that's definitely accurate.
Yeah.
Cut it there, maybe, but then that'll put me into that red cell.
You can, it does, like, the weather radar has a weather and turbulence mode.
Yeah.
See what your turbulence
I need
level
to
would be.
go... That, if I switch just to turbulence...
Yeah, there you go.
Does it actually work in X-Plane?
It should show up as pink.
What, turbulence?
Yeah.
Should I just cut around it?
Yeah, I would thread the needle through. Never
Oh,
hold up.
there it is. I was looking for it on the weather radar on the 7.4. I found it. I enabled it.
Does it work
Wex Turb.
on your cell?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't use it all the time, just because I want to have like the ND a little bit minimalized. But like if I do see some weather up there, I will put it to weather and turbulence. just
Yeah,
to
this
see
is a
if
little
I can
bumpy
kinda
on the way
see
into Cancun.
through. Yeah,
One thing I don't
it's
like about
expensive,
X-Plane is the airspeed indicator doesn't jump around like it should when you're flying into turbulence.
I find it to jump around.
It should be jumping
you-
up and down when you're
though.
flying
You
in
want
turbulence.
11 or 12?
That's 12.
I'm sorry.
You think I should cut it through there, or should I continue around the cell?
Probably continue
I would
around it.
continue around. Yeah.
Are you listening to an actual ATIS?
Yeah, it's the ATIS on Vatsim.
I've noticed that some
Are you sure you're
controllers...
not on Pilot Edge? Damn!
No,
Why?
Pilot Edge
Oh, yeah,
uses
a lot
a automated one too.
A lot of the ATISs on Vatsim have the actual guy's voice. I remember one time, because there was a point in time where
Oh!
the
It does work!
the
Look at that! A
X-Pilot,
little bit of magenta!
Yeah, it's
Yep.
cool.
there was a time where a lot of the a lot of the voice ATISs did not work on X-Pilot and V-Pilot. So I would just double click it. Now they all work, it seems, right?
Yeah.
So I would just double click it and see, and then I had a question about the ATIS because of how it was written, and he's like, yeah, but you don't want to hear my beautiful voice. I'm like, yeah, we know. Like sometimes it doesn't work, so we just would rather, you know, click it or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I understand that. But it was his voice on the frequency, on the ATIS freak.
And Chicago Center, good afternoon. A Walker 1942 on the ground at Milwaukee with Sierra ready, copy far over down to O'Hare.
I will always love that one ATIS where the guy at the end goes, "Caca!"
Oh, yep.
My brother does that
Or-
sometimes.
Or I remember one time I heard this one ATIS on Vatsim. It was advise you have information Mungo on board. and it was a Chewie clip, and he just starts fucking dying. And there were so many good ATISs. I don't remember what, not an ATIS, but I remember I think it was JFK, and then it was this British Airways that was lining up, you know, that they were on final, and then somebody said. And then some, you know, I think someone made a joke and the Brits didn't get it. And then somebody turned around and was like, the redcoats are coming on frequency. And I started dying of laughter when I heard that. I'm like, oh my god. And then there was another one where the, you know, Brits got mad.
You know what I would have said in response to the redcoats are coming? I would have followed that up with Paul Revere strikes again.
Yeah, and then there was another one where the Brits got mad about something, and the control, not the control, the pilot on the frequency turned around and was like, well, somebody's not used to a little bit of freedom. And I laughed. That one was great. I think it was a Southwest pilot too. I think it was in Houston, where the Brits got cut off, and it was beautiful.
Okay, this is not good. I have like a red cell like right over the airport and we're flying into it. Can't really do much about it. So fingers crossed that we make it through this cloud.
Yeah, you could shortcut the arrival.
I could. Yeah, let me see here. If I
You would still have to fly
see
through
the airspeed
Arkansas at
indicators
that point.
jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like how it works in P3D better because I find it to be a little more realistic.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that wind indicator.
I know, it's just like it's off the walls. We're gonna go direct.
That's what we call the you know what flapping in the wind.
CH2, what is it? Drag required, yep. You know how we talked about crashing on Vatsim?
Let's hope it doesn't happen today.
Let's hope it doesn't. Is that 1, 2?
Look at your turn predictor.
Does that give me? Nah, that's not what I want. Alright.
Alex, you remember the thrust required message on the captain's?
Holy fuck, look at that.
Yes,
Thrust required, and I sent it to my buddy, and he's like, I don't think that's a real message.
So look at that wind shear.
By the way,
Oh my.
Oh,
my.
bank angle
Arrival.
too!
on
Woo, we're getting a
arrival
bank
into
angle
Atlanta-
Bank angle check.
I flew Southwest into Atlanta last night, and on arrival, I got an erroneous wind shear.
Oh, dude, ask Steve. Remember, I got a wind shear in fucking snow the other day into fucking O'Hare. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh, I got one on
there.
departure
Yeah.
in the Max with Alex.
I was the one who told you that that when you had a wind shear warning, you shouldn't have changed the configuration of the airplane
Yeah.
until you were sure you were out of it.
No, it's weird because I thought I was out of it, and then all of a sudden it's just like whoa, and I was like, yeah, next time I'll wait a couple more seconds.
I think I should turn the fasten seatbelt signs off. I don't think we need them.
Wind shear warning. You can disregard, like the very rare occasion, like if it's clear as day outside, no signs of any actual wind shear, and you get a wind shear warning,
Put your start
can-
just to continuous.
you can actually disregard it.
Yeah. There you go.
You know, but
What the
if,
fuck is
if,
that?
if you can tell it's erroneous, but you know,
I don't feel comfortable with this right now. I don't like this. It's like,
Go into the outside view?
I want to see what your wings are doing.
Oh
Look at
my.
the birdie flappy!
wow, look at that runner! Whoa! Look at that runner!
oh my god.
We're gonna get our airplane washed.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, the weather in Cancun is beautiful and sunny. We're gonna have a nice arrival into Cancun. Please remain seated, but yep, the weather, we should have 0 to minor. We should have like no turbulence into Cancun today. Thank you for choosing American and good luck.
Hey, you're out of it!
I'm out of it, look at that! Oh my
Out of
god.
it. What the hell are we into? Famous last words before the rudder
Famous last words,
Breaks
American
off.
587.
rips off. the
American
fucking
8,
aircraft.
what's going on now? Why is it? Oh my god, we're going nose down! Can't pull out of it, we're spinning!
Oh, by the way, Steve, I stupidly decided to swap weather engines on a flight, and it
Oh, we're gonna be right back in it.
It caused me to go into a dive in the Flight Factor A320, and it was such a severe change in weather that it threw the aircraft into alternate law.
Oh.
So I had to reset the flight control system.
And Gabriele, which Max were you flying?
The 8.
Yeah, but which maker?
Fly.
The iFly.
I fly.
It's actually really good.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm
It is
impressed.
really good.
It went from being shit to very good.
Just one minor issue with it. The font on the screen's not the Boeing font.
It is.
It's
They
not.
changed it. They changed it.
Changed
It is.
Oh,
Yes. It looks exactly as you see it on the PMDG now.
okay. So then I might pick it up. Which mic?
Man, I am right back into this again. Should I just send down to 2,000 or keep it at 3? Because I need 2,000 my intercept, 3,000 is that VOR there. It wants me down
Because,
to... yeah, I'm gonna go down to
Steve.
2,000.
That is what the numbers look like on the PMD now.
Okay. Because I remember it didn't have the Boeing font, and that was like one of my big gripes. I was like, I gotta change this.
I mean, you could probably modify it, even
I
if
think-
it's
I
outside.
think-
There's a way to modify it.
I think many people complained about that, and that's why they changed it. Because there was a lot of
Yeah.
people complaining about it.
It's coming
Dude,
to
I was-
Microsoft too.
I was one of the people who complained so much about this plane, but
Yes, it's coming to
Yeah.
Microsoft. They released
Yeah,
some
it is.
pictures.
Oh my God, Gabe! Turn on your windshield wipers, please.
once I
What if I
once
choose
I
not
waited,
to?
Like a year, I found out it was. I tested it again, and man,
Altitude
they
alert.
updated it so much.
It's having some
I,
issues here. It's deviated a few 100 feet off altitude. I'm gonna go
I-
manual speed
You're
here.
gonna lose it all of a sudden.
There it is.
Push it. Oh, look at his speed! Holy crap! You're gonna lose it all of a sudden.
Oh, son.
Push it up.
Way up.
Push your way
What?
up.
What? Way up. Way
Way
up.
up. Push your way up.
Delta 191, go around.
We can't. We're gonna hit the bridge.
Put your thrust limit to Toga. There you go. 'Cause that's what it should
Man, this is gonna be fun in the Challenger on the way out.
Speed.
Shit. Great.
I need
Cockpit
to get
voice
the
recording on midair or whatever
By
air
the way,
disasters.
Are you going 270 knots at 2,000 feet?
No, you did not see that. That
Oh
was
my
not
God.
happening.
Kevin, I flew the Max into New Orleans the other day.
Yeah.
Dude, I started pulling it back, pulled the power fully back by 30 feet, started the flare, landed just like an 800.
Nice.
Landed just like an 800.
Oh yeah, it flies just like an 800.
Yeah.
I also want to get the TFDI MD11 for P3D.
Ooh, yes, I cannot wait for when they finish that. But
I'm
they
gonna
delayed it
continue
though.
that up.
It's
Steve.
delayed now.
Steve.
Really?
Yeah.
Steve.
What?
Steve. When
Alex.
we get the TFDI, shared fucking cockpit, god damn it!
Alright, can we, Alex, can we, lighten back on the words here? I am live.
There is kind of an
Why?
issue with P3D with the MD11 and shared cockpit.
Let me guess, they're not putting it in there.
If it doesn't have it native, we can't do the shared flight because GSX a bunch of issues with that, and P3D throws fits when you try to
Oh
go
my
into a
God.
multiplayer shared flight thing.
Yeah.
Because me and my buddy tried to do the 7.6 shared
Oh,
flight, and that's what happened. Now, if I
So-
get it in 2020, we could do it with shared flight or whatever that is.
Well, okay, shared flight. So the thing with P3D is that TFDI typically puts it as part of the aircraft that it's shared cockpit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 717 has it.
Because that's how they did it with the 717.
Yeah, then we should be able to do it.
And I know the A320 from Aerosoft has that, though
Yeah. The
a lot of
A330.
people
Why
don't
is
want
my
to pick it up
approach
because
not
it
working?
doesn't simulate failures.
It actually does.
It does?
My approach
Yeah.
mode's not working.
Did you put the ILS frequency in?
Yeah, it's a one... It won't let me
Did you
change it now.
from standby to.
Wait, it won't let me change it now. I had it set. See, it's not letting me move it.
That's weird. Go to your nav radius on the glare shield.
And just set it here.
No. Are they in auto?
Manual.
See if you can do it now.
There it is. 1111, course is 127. 125, excuse me. Shoot, I'm gonna overshoot this.
There you go.
There it goes. It's got localizer.
Imagine having to set your ILS frequency. Right, Steve?
7-4 gang.
Cancun traffic, American 1888's on the ILS, runway 12 right approach. Cancun.
Unless you're a 7-4 classic, then,
7-4 Classic is understandable because it's a classic.
yes.
Woo! It is
Still
getting thrown
7-4
around.
gang.
This is gonna be a challenging approach. Yeah, those wipers are not really doing much right now.
Do they
Gotta love it.
just not work at all?
No, they work,
No.
but it says that the conditions are VFR out, but I don't know.
That don't look VFR to me.
No, it does not look
VFR.
VFR to me either.
Well, it could be raining, but it could still be VFR.
I'll show you VFR.
That
Do it.
sounds very sexual. I love it.
I need my distance to the runway. Frogs. It's been a while since I filmed this
If
thing.
you have the ILS tuned in, it should be on your PFDs, the localizer.
Oh, where is this exactly?
It's not showing your DME to the runway. What the... Interesting.
Oh, 10 miles to the VOR. 10 mile pound.
But that's not showing your
Yeah,
ILS
nah, it's not, yeah.
distance. Zoom in on your HSI. HSI. Below your
Oh, yeah, yeah,
ADI.
sorry, wrong lane. Let me,
That's not gonna change anything because you
Yeah,
just switched it
true.
to automatic direction finder.
Alright, well, I can see the runway, so that's all that matters right now. That's 20.
Put your wipers on fast!
They are on fast.
That is fast.
That is
They
not
should be
bad.
going way faster than that.
That is
Like,
like
it
low.
should, it should be
Oh wait, this
top
is low.
bottom, top
Watch,
bottom,
that's
top
low.
bottom, top bottom, top bottom.
That's low.
Oh my god.
That's
No
high.
wonder the wipers don't do anything.
Literally.
Look at that. Just getting thrown around.
Your passengers are like, what the hell's going on?
We gonna crash.
Possibly.
I want off this ride. Oh,
Nope.
hey Steve, I fixed a bunch of my frame rate issues with P3D. Take a
what
guess as to what the problem was.
Not auto-gen. I'm gonna go ahead and assume terrain level of detail.
It was actually auto-gen.
Really? You had it on?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cancun traffic, American
Turn it
1888 on short
Frame
bound
rate.
runway 12 right, Cancun.
And put your terrain LOD to 5 or 10. 10.
I'll do that
Give you
when I
better
land in
frame rate?
Bogota.
Yeah. But 10 will give you better frame rate. 5 will give you a little bit better like look. But honestly, there's no difference between 10 and 5. Just if you're using Orbex, you can use either one of them.
Please, clear on the right, clear on the left.
Whereabouts off? I got control.
Flight slow.
Shoot, it's sinking. I have full backstick.
Bug 5 on your
Oh.
VREF.
Flight
Oh, no way.
There we go, got it.
flight slow.
Talking about crashing might happen today. I can pull the power
Start with
there.
number
Should
2,
drop.
number 2, put the down. Start valve open and 2 rising.
What are you flying?
737-400.
Based.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a long landing, but I think I can recover it.
Really high.
Continue. Yeah. But this thing's like a sports car, so you can
That's a
stop this thing in
beautiful
like no
bird.
distance.
Yeah, but that's a very unstable approach.
Yeah. Pick the rudder. Get the flare. That nose wheel just got. I had full back. Alright, yeah, it's been a while since I've flown the 7.5.
One thing I like about the Mad Dog is if you touch down, when you touch down rear first and start bringing the nose down, and then open the reversers, it will actually help soften the landing of the nose gear.
Dude, fucking the Mad Dog breaks so quick in P3D, it's so unrealistic. I've landed a Mad Dog at, where was it? I think it was, Tweed New Haven in 700 feet.
Cancun traffic, American 1888 is clear of runway,
Saying that's
12 right,
unrealistic,
Cancun.
I believe, is an understatement.
The one thing I like about the 7.4 is it settles into the ground effect beautifully.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
Such an easy airplane to fly.
It is, the Mad Dog.
No, it's 7.4.
That too.
The Felis is the same way, but you need to get that power management in. It requires a little bit better power management. It requires a little more management over the power than the 400 and Dash 8 do.
Yeah, those windshield
even
wipers
that.
did nothing for me.
Yeah. Not even that. The 7.4, like, is just such an easy airplane to operate as well. Even the 200s are really easy to operate.
I can't wait to watch that replay. Oh, I need to check my landing rate. What was it?
Probably crappy.
Yeah, most definitely.
Hey, at least you're honest.
I'm not gonna say I'm the best at landing, because we all know that's not true. At least this airplane. I can butter the Challenger really well. And the Airbus. But Airbus doesn't take much to butter.
The 757 is not an easy plane to land, I'm not gonna lie.
No, every time I've been on one, they always drop it.
Because
No. The 7.6 is not an easy airplane to land.
Oh, dude, that thing's a brick!
Whoa, 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 what's that? Is that a... What's sticking out of the back of my plane?
For the APU door.
That's not an APU door.
That's a canard.
And it does not have one in it.
That actually is there in the real world.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have I never noticed it?
I didn't know what you were looking at.
Yeah, there's a little fin that comes out the side next to the APU outlet.
What is it
Is
for?
there in the real world. It's probably a vortex generator of some sort. I don't know. Who's that taxiing behind you?
It's, United.
In the Star Wars livery.
Looks pretty cool. Frame brake is set, we'll just kill the engines here, we don't need to care about the power.
But I don't think any airline has been to 7.5. A lot of airlines have been to 7.6. By default, the 7.6 is harder.
Alright, let's see. Alright, so I'm coming over. Scenery looks good at least, you know? Nice looking scenery.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this in general. If you look just below the APU outlet exhaust, you can see the fin you saw.
Oh, wow. Okay, did not know that existed.
And there's the same thing on a UPS 7.5.
Ew, UPS.
Alright, here's the landing, let's watch. Coming on in.
This.
Alright, I'm a little bit biased to UPS.
We only fire UPS.
We don't like single queue flight directors here, man.
Hey, they're changing it.
Yeah, they are when they update all of their 7.5s and 7.6s to LDSs.
Alright. I floated it a lot.
Yeah. Cause
That was
LDSs
not bad,
are,
actually. Look, that's not bad. I think it made it look worse.
Not bad.
I think it made it look worse. But that nose gear coming down.
Nose gear, you definitely should have done a better job with.
I had it like full back in the cockpit, I think, did I? Let's see.
Well, your trim was really far forward.
Yeah. No, it looks like I literally just grabbed it and let go of the yoke.
Well, yeah, UPS actually...
Go back to your flare. You had the nose way too high on your flare.
Yeah.
You are not supposed
Yeah.
to pull the nose that high on the 7.5.
But in the cockpit, it didn't look like it was like, from here, look. When I flared it, didn't look that bad. That looks more than what's from in there.
You pulled the nose up a little bit out at the end there.
Yeah, I also think I was close to a tail strike, was I?
Not really. But UPS is actually, yeah, getting rid of their single queues on their 7.5s and so. I know their A300s don't have single queues anymore.
I need to finish off
actually,
the live stream. I'll be right back.
um,
Alright guys, so yeah, that was not the greatest landing, but it was okay. We did butter it. It just was a little bit of a drop more than anything else. So let's see what our landing rate was. Oh, 143, not bad at all.